I'm Alter from Alter's Aside, and today we're going to talk about love cards and career cards. My hair is really frizzy today, so I'm not going to be on camera a bunch. I'm going to mostly have you looking at the cards. Enjoy. There are certain cards in the deck that tend to be associated with relationships, and there are other cards that are associated more with your career. So I broke them out here. There's also a third pile here where I just wanted to make a couple notes about these cards in regards to this type of reading. So the reason that I'm talking about this is because when you are doing a reading for someone about their career, it's important to remember that they are in a relationship with their job. So sometimes the relationship cards will come up for career readings, and sometimes the career cards will come up for relationships. So I'm going to go through a couple of the basic ones really quick and just kind of discuss what is the difference if it comes up for career versus a relationship. And this can be And this can be a romantic relationship or platonic relationship or family, coworker. It can be all kinds of things. Okay, so Three of Pentacles. This is one of my favorite cards. The deck that I'm going to be using today to showcase this is called the Manga deck, and it is one of my favorite decks. It has some of my favorite art, so enjoy. This card is the Three of Pentacles, and in the original artwork from Pamela Smith, there is someone who has an idea, someone who has money, and then a third person who is standing on top of a bench, and that third person actually has the skill to build the church, which is really important because this card is about knowing your worth and what skills you bring to the table. Now, in a work situation, it's very easy to think about, am I being paid what I'm worth? Am I being treated what I'm worth? It's a little bit more complicated in a relationship, at least in my experience with talking to clients. This card, when it comes up for relationships, it usually hurts a little bit because they're usually not being treated in a way that shows that their partner values them. So this card definitely comes up for both sides. This card, the Ten of Wands, is about someone who's working so hard that they are probably going to burn out. Like they can't really even see where they're going. That's how many sticks they're holding and how hard they're working. In work, a lot of times I will advise people, you can do this for a short amount of time, and then you have to figure out a way to either slow down or really build your self-care into your routine. And it's rare that someone who works this much is doing a lot of self-care. So that's a really good thing to just remind them, or yourself if you're getting this card. It's a really good reminder to yourself. If it comes up for a relationship, it usually means that the person who this card represents, when they don't want to think about a situation or feel a bunch of emotions, when they're avoiding, they will throw themselves into their job. So that's what this card is usually about for relationships. This card, this is sort of a tricky one. Technically, this isn't about work. In the books, this card talks about doing charity work, but I've never really understood the card this way, and I've talked to a few other people who also agree with me. This card, in general, when I see this card, it means the person sitting across from me feels like they're being treated like a charity case. That happens at work or in personal relationships. So this card means the same thing on both sides. And then the Four of Pentacles. This card, when you see it for a job, it's usually, I don't want my responsibilities changing. I don't want my responsibilities given to someone else. Sometimes when you see it in a personal relationship, if it's just the person asking about themselves, sometimes it means that they're concerned about money or what's theirs and holding on to it. But if it's a relationship card, a lot of times it's more they are guarding themselves and trying not to give too much of themselves. Either they have been hurt in the past and they're building up walls, or it's like a mom who just needs time to herself. This might be me projecting. And so you do the thing called midnight revenge, where you stay up super late reading fan fiction instead of going to sleep when you need to, because you just need time when people aren't asking anything of you. That's the Four of Pentacles. Okay, now for the relationship cards. This Two of Cups, this is my favorite relationship card. If this card comes up, it's like the best relationship. Emotional fulfillment on both sides. We're both here for each other. There's consistency, there's love, there's excitement, passion. I adore this card for relationships. It is my favorite one. I would not say that this is a soulmate card, but only because I think it is a soulmate card, but I don't like to say the word soulmate because people get really wrapped up in the concept of a soulmate. And I think that, throughout our lives, we have different times when we need different things from people, and it's not always sometimes like those soulmates. It's the same thing with the twin flames. Like twin flames tend to burn down the forest. So I don't like to use that phrase, but this card is the one that I want to see for a relationship. If this card comes up for your job, a lot of times it means it's a really good fit and that you'll have emotional fulfillment. This does not mean necessarily that you're going to have monetary fulfillment. It depends on how you steward the job, because water cups are the element of water, and water is all about emotion. So you really have to be aware of exactly what you ask the cards and what you're looking for when you're getting that answer about your career. This one is really easy to read. It's like super stable relationship, super stable situation. 4 is a very stable number. It's the 4 of Wands. So when you get this for a relationship, it's obviously like, it's time to party. It's time to celebrate. It's time to enjoy each other. This is those people who marry their best friend. This is it right here. And it's very functional, stable, supportive. And it's the same with a job. If this comes up for a career, sometimes, and this is where you really have to know what you're asking the cards, sometimes it means that they just got their promotion and they're really excited about it, and now they're on to a more stable position at their work. Or sometimes it just means that overall their job has always been stable and a good fit for them, or the job that they're looking to go into is going to lead to this situation. Once you put in the time, you can't just jump into a 4 of Wands situation professionally or romantically. Okay, 10 of Cups. Sorry, there we go. 10 of Cups. This card is ridiculously easy to read, in my opinion. It's just they're happy. It's a happy family. There's rainbow cups in the sky, emotional abundance everywhere. Happy, happy, happy. So obviously when this comes up for a personal reading, it's because you're happy at home. And it's important to remember that the people you're reading for, you don't know, this could come up for a woman and her dog. And it doesn't have to be a head couple with 2 children or anything like that. It just means that your home life is happy. And there's abundance with emotion in your home life, positive. But not the kind where it's so much joy that it starts to make you crazy. Anyway, when it comes up for work, career, sometimes it means that you're going to have a job where you're very happy, but that's kind of rare in my experience. Most of the time it means that the job they're looking to go into, or the one that they have currently, helps them to create a life where they feel this way with their partner. Be that if it gives them extra money, it gives them extra time and ability to be with the dog, the kids, whatever. So that is for 10 of Cups. And then the Lover's card. So the Lover's card can mean quite a few things. Sometimes it's just like you are flirting with someone. Sometimes it's we are sharing deep secret knowledge with each other, deep sacred knowledge. So if you think about the concept of Adam and Eve, but you take out the anger, right? So it's just a woman who wanted to share this experience of eating an apple with a man. So it's sharing in the knowledge of something. And it's also about destiny. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of this card coming up because, I mean, Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden. Romeo and Juliet all died, right? Everybody in the play. So you really have to be careful with this, not to jump into it and think that this is the end game. The idea behind the Lover's card for me is that it grows into something. Does it grow into the Tower card, the Hierophant, the Devil, or the Two of Cups? Now, those aren't your only options, but those are the main ones. And I can go over that later. Leave a comment if you want me to go over that later, because I know that that was a lot of information I just threw at you. I can go over that later. I can go over that in another video because that's a lot of information I just threw at you, and that would be a good topic to cover. So that is for the romance side. And for the work side, a lot of times this card will come up when it's like I'm flirting with an idea of a business, or I'm flirting with several ideas of a business and I don't know what I want to do yet, or I'm just starting to get excited about it and now we need to figure out if it's the real deal and I'm going to sink my teeth into it, or if I need to settle down with a more reasonable idea. Lastly, these cards are just, this one is yes, go have some fun. If this comes up for a relationship, take your partner out or whoever you're reading the cards for and go have a good time. If this comes up for work, it usually means that you need to make sure you're having fun outside of work hours so that you can stand your job. Miscommunication, this comes up for both. That one I'm not going to explain. And then movement. This one can come up when you're physically moving from one location to another. It can come up when you are breaking up with someone. And it can come up when you are getting promoted. So that's how the Ten of Wands, we already did that one. That is how the Eight of Wands applies to relationships and work. I hope this video helped all of you, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you for bearing with me while I deal with my curly hair.